Hi guys, this is me, Valerie, the real Prague guide, and today I'm gonna give you some tips on things to do in Prague in the spring season. Starting from April 1st, the city is slowly coming back to life, and so do I. Just crawled out of my winter hibernation cave. And let's kick off our list with something really budget-friendly and exciting. A walk through one of Prague's blooming orchards. Florals for spring, groundbreaking. Petřín Park is usually the first one to surprise us with white, gentle flowers. It is a local's favorite spot, so expect a lot of people taking photos and enjoying views of the city. It is still a little bit of a workout though, since the funicular is not running yet, so please be aware of that. Another park that is open all year round is Vojan Garden, located just below Petřín Hill. It is usually blooming throughout the spring season. They have different types of trees there, such as apple trees and magnolias. Please be kind to the inhabitants of the Vojan Garden. Multiple families of peacocks. Actually, how do you call a group of peacocks? A group of peacocks is most commonly called an ostentation or a muster. They're usually very vocal, so you can hear them from a mile away. Another huge park that is open all year round is Troja Botanical Garden. We have visited it in one of our videos before. It has a paid entrance, but it's huge. We spent several hours just strolling around, and it's located just outside of the city center in Prague 7 district. Oh, and if you are in the area already, you should also check out Troja Chateau. It boasts beautiful cherry blossoms in spring, and you shouldn't miss the interiors of the Troja Chateau as well. They have gorgeous frescoes, so definitely check it out. Most of Prague's high-maintenance gardens, however, close for the winter season and reopen on the 1st of April, operating throughout summer and most of autumn until the end of October. So here's a list of my personal favorites that I think you will enjoy as well. Senate Garden, an amazing Baroque complex with fountains, artworks, and yes, more peacocks. And it's free to visit. I really like gardens below the Prague Castle. There's a small entrance fee, but it's definitely worth it. And we should also mention the beautiful Baroque Vrtba Garden. If you are seeking a little outside of the city adventure, I recommend heading to Průhonice Park. It's been a while since I've been there last time. Can't wait to go back to take more photos for Václav. Next thing I recommend doing is taking part in some festivities. Obviously, the biggest holiday of spring is Easter. Unfortunately, I cannot give you the precise dates on when Easter will happen when you will be traveling to Prague, because they vary from year to year. Usually, Easter markets are opened 2 weeks before the Easter week, then the Easter week, and then 1 week after the Easter week. Hopefully that makes sense. That is true for biggest markets of Prague on the Old Town Square and Wenceslas Square. Smaller markets usually close right after Easter. We're getting a very traditional Easter thing, and it is pomlaska. It is a willow whip. They have cute small ones. They have bigger ones. And then they have a huge one right there that I'm scared of. In case you don't know, there's a Czech tradition of whipping girls on Easter Monday for health and beauty. Something that you can look forward to the whole year. But to be fair, nowadays this tradition is slowly withering away because it's not really a fair, I guess. It's getting cancelled, yeah, that's right, Václav. It's getting cancelled. We are just gonna get it for the sake of the old days, I guess. We've arrived to the main Easter market of Prague on the Old Town Square. So I'm armed and let's go check it out. It's like we are back to Christmas, because all the stands have the same displays, so you can even get same stuff that we were eating here on Christmas. Look. One of the spring specialties that you can try in Prague around Easter time is the green beer. You can get it at a market, you can get it in some selected restaurants, but only around Easter. So let's try it. Tastes like beer. Doesn't have any weird aftertaste at all, actually. You can just get it as a normal beer. Don't expect anything extraordinary from it. You're not gonna turn into a frog, you're not gonna turn into a Hulk, you're gonna be yourself just a little tipsier and merrier. So, na zdraví. Okay, let's do it, guys. Let's do it again. Climb the steps. Let's go. Ta-da! We did it. Another spring spring celebration to look forward to is Чародейнице, or burning of the witches. I know it sounds alarming, but don't worry, only a doll of a witch is burnt nowadays. It is a pagan holiday that symbolizes the end of winter, and it is celebrated on the April 30th with a huge bonfire and a barbecue. Čarodějnice celebrations take place at several locations around Prague, but the main celebration is usually at Kampa Island. Well, there's plenty of access to water here, which is a needed thing when you have a huge bonfire, just in case. Oh, and there's also a contest for the best witch costume. I always want to take part in it, but my clothes are too colorful, not exactly witchy. But if there is ever a contest for the best clown costume, count me in. This next section contains no advertisements. Unfortunately. When the weather is nice, it's a cool activity, is of course a boat ride or boat cruise. There are several options to fit all budgets. So let's start with the luxury tier, and that's the boat cruise or the dinner cruise. Now, I have taken it several times as part of our team building in the previous place of employment, and I feel like my impression was a little skewed because it kind of sucks to be stuck on a boat with a lot of your bosses. But I know a lot of people enjoy it. I don't have any specific boat cruises to recommend though. I think they're all very similar, but one thing to remember is that if the boat cruise is longer than 1 hour, you will be going through locks, which means you will be staring at a wall for about 40 minutes out of your boat ride. If they don't go through locks, it means that the boat will be going in circles around the river, but that's in case of bad weather or high traffic on Vltava. Next one is the mid-tier, and those are the boat rides under 1 hour long. They usually go in circles under Charles Bridge. We tried it quite recently and chose a very popular company called Venice Boats, again, not an advertisement, and it was fun to try for once at least. A little bit expensive, 550 crowns per person, and that included a drink, a snack, and also an entrance to the Museum of the Charles Bridge, so kind of worth it, I would say. One thing I will mention about all of the boat rides, all types, is that from my experience, those were not good for taking photos for some reason. Maybe the boats that I took were just too crowded or the weather wasn't good, but I've taken like several ones and couldn't get any cool shots necessarily. But nevertheless, a fun thing to do. And then we have the last tier, which is the best one in my opinion, and that's the paddle boats. Those are the cheapest. They cost like 300 crowns per boat, and because you go with 2 or more people, you can split it, so it's even cheaper that way. You can rent those from Žofín or Chapadlo. Last time we did that, we almost tipped over our paddle boat, so pick a day with the warm weather. For my next recommendation, I would like to remind you of an old Czech proverb that basically says that in April we should still stay close to the stove. That means April can be a cold month, and if you were not blessed with the good weather on the day of your visit, you can still spend a couple of hours indoors exploring some of Prague's beautiful sights. Here's my list of favorites. My number one choice of the indoor activity would be, of course, the National Museum, which we've shown you around quite recently, so if you want to see the virtual tour of the National Museum, check out this video. You can spend there several hours, I would say even the whole afternoon, because they have a lot to see. A newly renovated palace that we visited quite recently is called Clam Gallas Palace, and it is ran by the Museum of Prague. If you want to see how aristocrats lived about 300 years ago, definitely head there. It is a stunning Baroque residence where you can spend an hour walking around the beautiful halls instead of standing in the line to see the Iridium Book Tower. If you haven't had enough of stunning architecture, check out the Museum of Decorative Arts nearby. Trippy thing we found, number 15, cactus table decoration, and it's cacti fighting. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. It's from 1852. We are having a what the hell moment here. Check out number 44, Sperm Agnieszka teaspoon. And for my final indoor recommendation, I will mention the Municipal House, the interiors of which you can see as part of the guided tour. If you're a fan of Art Nouveau, what are you doing sitting here? Of course, you have to run to the Municipal House to see it inside. I of course love it also because I get a cake every time I visit there. This video would not be complete without some recommendations for trips outside of Prague. Just as gardens, many castles and chateaus reopen after winter in the Czech Republic. We visited a lot of places on this channel, so I'm just gonna keep it short and brief and give you some of my best recommendations. I loved Blatna. This is where you have the deer that follow you like serial killers if you don't give them food. It was terrifying for me, but a lot of people really love these animals, so I don't want to say anything bad, but for me they were just huge and terrifying. But cool experience nevertheless. Červená Lhota is a very fairy tale castle, literally. And of course Loket, which has more of a medieval, kind of creepy and bloody feel. They do have the torture chambers there, so maybe not good for spring, even though spring is also time of psychosis. And of course the staple recommendations of our channel are Český Krumlov, which is further away, so please reserve more time for it. Kutná Hora, extremely close, 1 hour away from Prague, great medieval city to visit. And Karlštejn. One place that we visited, filmed but never made a video about it, was Lani. Lani is the residence of the Czech president, and you can go there on a tour, which was kind of cool. It's definitely a unique thing to do, so if you have done everything else, I suggest you also head there. They have a huge territory, so you can spend around 2-3 hours just walking around and taking photos. Okay, that would be it from us, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Let us know in the comments what is one thing maybe that we missed on our list and you want to add. Or let us know what is the first thing you would do if you end up visiting Prague in spring. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Bye! And now take photos of me, Václav.